Yeah.
I'm drinking milk. I'm eating my lemon cake that grandma bought me. No, Theodore had to clarify the whole husband killing his wife, and he was like, he loved her. He was devastated. He didn't want
Yeah, he
her
has
to
to make
die.
it. Okay, wait. Let's.
But to me, I'm
Wait,
sorry,
wait, wait. This is content. We
for
need it.
me, for me, it looked like he was trying to kill her because he wanted the son. That was it. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, let's talk. All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Where Uni and Monique, who I'm Monique. We take shows that we are interested in, and we kind of just analyze it, give our little spin on it. The show that we're going to be discussing today is going to be The House of the Dragon, which is a new show on HBO, right? It's on HBO. We watch it on
It's
Hulu.
on HBO. Yeah.
But basically we're going to be in this episode, we're going to be analyzing or talking about episode 1 and 2. Episode 1, which is the heirs of the dragon, and episode 2, which is the rogue prince. Now, if you have not seen it, you don't want to hear anything about it, Uni and I are not good of not saying spoilers. We will
Oh,
be
you will say it.
spoiling
All of
everything.
it. Every single thing is gonna be spoiled.
We're gonna be spilling all tea. So if you
And
don't
I'll do it
want,
on purpose. I'll be doing it on purpose just to upset you.
so if you
Mm,
don't want to hear it, please click off. We have a lot of other videos in our catalog that you could watch.
exactly.
So you've been warned. Okay. So what we're gonna do, thought it would be kind of good because we're doing 2 episodes together just for us to catch up. And then from here on, after we do 3 and 4 together, just let you all know, we'll be doing episode by episode unless of scheduling that you and I are not able to meet. So I kind of figured like to kind of make it a little bit better, we'll go by people.
Yes.
So the first one I want to discuss is
And please do not get mad at us for butchering names because these are not I don't know. I know
yeah,
I'm
and
gonna butcher.
like you and I already have issues with saying
We
regular
already
words.
know that. Yeah.
So, it's not intentional. Like this is not intentional at all. If we mess something up, and we'll try our best as we go on to get it right. All right.
Yes.
So the first one I want to discuss is Rhaena Targaryen. That's the
Is it the
princess,
daughter,
the young
the
princess.
princess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
want to
in
start with her just because like the episode 1. So episode 1 opens up where they all are in the court, right? Where they're with the old king. The
see that there's the war and you could see like but they're all gathering there regardless with their differences and everything else and their war and their fight that they're all there together.
and the reason why they're all gathering in this thing is to kind of say who the next heir is. So the old king, his name is Gay Harris. I'm gonna call him the old king. The
The old
old
king.
king, he is trying to pick an heir. So who is going to be the heir to the next throne? So that's where you see,
And
um,
he was the one that brought all the peace and all the goodness back. And he was the I think they called him the wise king or whatever it was. Um there.
yeah. So basically, he have them all gathered, and why he has them gathered because basically all the people that were supposed to be his heirs or his successors, they've all passed because he has lived for many years. So he basically outlived most of his children, and some of them have has tragic deaths. So that's why you see the what they call her, the queen who never was, and
Uh-huh.
her husband, and then you see Verses, the king,
Percy's, yeah.
yeah, him and his wife there. So he had the people of the court, so all the lords or whatever, they pick who is going to be his successor, and they end up picking Verses the first to be the successor. So that's why the other lady is known as the queen that who never was, because she was passed up time and time again of becoming the ruler. So the reason why I
Which
want
is
to,
now present in this time
yeah.
as well,
So the reason,
becoming a woman.
yeah, but you have some countries that have women queens and everything. But anyway, so why I want to start with Reina Targaryen is because it opens up with her after they show that scene with her coming on the dragon. So I want to know, like, what is your take on her? Because within the series, you see her where she's interacting with her and her best friend, and you kind of seeing like the relationship that she has with her mom, the relationship that she has with her dad. Because I kind of see it as like she loves her mom unconditionally. Because I loved when she went after she came off the dragon, she went to her and her friend went to go see her mom who's pregnant for with the umpteenth time because they've been trying to get a successor, a prince, right?
Boy.
But
Yeah.
she had her, and then after that she had like a lot of miscarriages or stillbirths that she's had, and this is the one, and she kind of tells the king like this will be the last time that I'm doing this for you, and I kind of felt like that was foreshadowing what was going to happen. But you could see like the care that she has for her mom because she was like very overprotective of her.
Yeah.
What do you think
Um,
about her as a character? What we saw in season, sorry, episode 1 and 2.
well, she's obviously very adventurous. She is what she is. She's what, a Targaryen, right?
Mhm.
Is that what?
Yeah,
Um,
Targaryen.
so she is who she is. She's going to be a Spitfire. She's going to be cunning. She's going to be adventurous. She's going to want to have fun. She wants to do all those things. Her mother is this, if you think about it, her mother and father, and I love this king at this moment. At this moment, I love this king because he seems very true, loyal. He's about the rules, about that old kingdom, like that old like is the honest, the virtue. And I think his wife is the same way. And she loves seeing that about them. Like she enjoys that stuff. But she's also a brat. She's also young. She's like what, 13 or
Or
something
something
like
like
that.
that. Yeah.
Um, so she's young and she's fun and she has a dragon. If you had a dragon, come on.
Like
I'll be
what were
flying
you
that dragon
doing?
all over the place
Yeah,
too.
but this authority. But like, and one thing I did like not like, but one thing I noticed about her is almost like she, and I guess it's like, everyone could have this with their parents where you know that your like her father desires a son that she's overlooked a lot by him. And I
Yeah.
feel like so almost like she has this thing about her where she's like, you know what, maybe she would want to be the ruler, but she know that she's not anything. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna be serious, but I'm not gonna take life too seriously because I'm not going to, once my father gets his son, I'm not going to be the person in the foresight.
It's weird because I watched a documentary about the queen who never was,
Mhm.
which was our recent queen of England, her daughter, who everybody foreshadowed like they all wanted her to be the queen. They actually don't want Prince Charles to be the king. They feel like she's more better suited for it. But because she knew she was going to be passed over anyways, because she is a female, she had more ways of being adventurous. She actually rode lots of horses and everything else. Honestly, this is mimicking this. This is like shadowing what's actually happening in the real world because as a female, you get passed over. Even if you have a brother that's younger than you get bumped down behind your brother. And that's how it is in England. That's what they do. Um,
Yeah, but
so
like this is the
that
parallel.
mirrors it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
But with her, so I can see
Sorry.
that. No, it's okay. But with her, I see that, like, say, even like the father, I feel like he does have this love
He
for his
loves her.
daughter because
He
he
does.
allows her to be in the throne room. Because if you think about it, her being in the throne room, yes, she's the one that's serving them their wine and stuff like that, but she's hearing the discussions that are going on. So it's not like she's far removed from it. So she's hearing the discussions, she's hearing how decisions are being made and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
to me, it's like it's almost like he wants to, although she may see as her father, she may be feel like okay, her father didn't really want her, or her father doesn't take pride in her, but the fact that he wants her close by him, I feel says a lot.
I think the whole thing is that he does respect his daughter. He loves his family. But at the end of the day, he's going to do what's right for his kingdom, because he even says it. He says, basically, you guys are second to this kingdom, to everything. I have to make sure that my people are taken care of, that I keep the laws and rules. We are not exempt. That's what he says. We are not exempt from these laws, and there's nothing I can do about it. Yes, he would love to probably pass this kingdom off to his daughter, but he knows what the rules are. He knows what's going to stir up with everybody else. Nobody's going to accept it, because that was not what it was before. But he would have put his daughter up first. But because he knows that it's going to start a war, or is going to bring, you know, no peace back into the country, he's going to do that. I don't think he doesn't love his daughter or his wife. He does.
No, he
It's
does, but
very
I don't think they realize it, because I think it's just like in real life, like say, you know what, the things that your parents do, you're not realizing that they do have or have love for you, but they're just not expressing it in a way for you to see it right in your face.
understand it
But it
at
is.
that moment.
Yeah. And then,
At the
so I guess it segues into Damien Targaryen, where, and one thing I love about her is like everyone in the kingdom seems to love her. Like, they help sneak things in for her, because remember there was one of the king's guard or whatever that brings her to the throne room to meet her uncle Damien Targaryen. And try not to get too far ahead to 3 and 4 when we talk about this,
It's so
but
hard.
let's keep it like, all right. So one thing that I liked, but like I liked, but I was questioning, and then I was like, Monique, no, pull it back a bit, because I don't have this type of relationship with my uncles. But it was like you could see the love that he had for her from when, she came into the throne room and he saw her. It was just like, it was almost as if that was his own child.
I think the thing is that because she's so she is intelligent, she's quick, she's witty, and he's the same way. And they both kind of share that rebelliousness of each other. Like they both have that. They're both rebels in their own, you know, stories, and they're both pretty smart as well. So I think he likes that. I think he sees himself there, like his own opponent in her, because I think everybody around him, he feels they're just dumb and stupid.
Which I
I
mean,
honestly feel that.
because it's one of those things where it's
I'm like,
like,
did I leak
no,
something
no, no,
there?
no, no,
Okay.
no, but it's like, because remember, so for those of you who don't know, if the king does not have a son, then Damien would be the one that turns the king. So he's the king's brother. But in this era, is like it has to be passed down, or to not cause trouble or chaos, it's better to be passed down to a male heir. So I felt like he probably connected more with his niece, because he sees that they both are like in limbo, right? Like where if the father has a son, they both are impacted, and probably like he sees a lot of himself in her from when he was little, being the one that probably felt like his mother or father didn't love or care for him, whether they did or not, but passed up. But one thing I can say I do love, and I don't know if Damien sees it, is that his brother really loves and care for him. Because like say, and when they were in the council and they were talking, where is he's not here, he's supposed to be here.
Like
It's
this,
like
like
one thing I
that.
could say, his brother understands him and does care for him and stands up for him, because I know one of the things that he's always been saying is that his brother is weak and the brother is not fit for this title of king.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
And then from
I like this king. I really, I mean, when you're comparing him to like watching Game of Thrones, I think it was it called Fire and Ice or Fire and Blood. That those, like, it was just, I don't know. I don't like any of those kings. I think I like Ned Stark. I wish Ned Stark was king, but I
No, but I
like
feel like
this
in
king.
this world, we could talk about him next. But I feel like in this world, like he's very kind, because unlike the other men, because you could see it, because the her best friend is her father is his right hand man, right? The one that kind of counsels and guides him and stuff like that. but you could see the difference between the two fathers in the sense of one father sees his daughter as a pawn to get what he wants, whereas the other one actually loves his daughter, actually loves his wife. He actually loves his family and cares about his
And
family.
he listens to women too.
He
But
hears
that's
them
I don't know
out.
if that's I don't know if that's a leak, but he does listen to um ideas and their voices because he does believe in, if they're smart, he's gonna listen to them.
No, they do, and and it's like one of the things that I feel like he has a struggle of, living up to the expectations of the council versus who he is and who he is as a person. Because to be honest, yeah, he wants to be a fair, just king, but he doesn't want to make the decisions that a king has to make. Because almost like every decision that he makes, someone has to kind of force him into a corner to make the decisions.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think he's never going to, and I think he said this, I'm never going to make somebody happy. I'm going to make somebody happy and somebody not happy. It doesn't matter which direction I go, but I'm going to go with the one that's going to do better than not. I mean,
It's true.
and that's the whole thing. But then he harms himself. He loses an ally. He loses somebody. Like he gains an upper hand, but then he chops
Something.
off the other.
Yeah. And then the thing about it is like, so during this time within, especially episode one, is like the mother is about to give birth. So leading up to this, they have a tournament. Like, it's a tournament called the ear tournament, HEIR tournament. And this is tournament they were saying in the council, like, maybe we should have this once the prince is born, because you don't know if it's going to be a boy or a girl that's born. But he kind of put the cart before the horse, where he had this tournament that everyone was participating in and everything. I want to know, what did you feel about the tournament? Because they were actually killing each other. It wasn't just a game. They were actually killing one another in the tournament.
I think you know, that's in any gladiator game. There's always the yay or the nay, and somebody might die. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing that you risk. If you're really as good as you are, you will survive, regardless of maybe not going that far to getting killed. I think that's just the way of the games of being a knight or serving like that. You have to be really good. You always have to be at your A game because if you don't, you're going to get killed. I think he did that also to calm his people down, to calm his court down as well, so that they could celebrate, oh, there is a boy, because everybody wants this boy so badly so that there isn't
I
any
don't know,
fights
but
and
what if it
it's
wasn't what if it's not a boy? You know what I mean? It's like you're
and
really
then they
putting the
wouldn't.
cart before the horse.
uh,
But one thing I will say, this is where my shallowness is coming out. Within the tournament, they didn't have any cute knights. Yes, they kind of played up Christian Cole. That's the young knight that, he didn't come from
I
a
like
family
him.
of wealth. He was okay looking, but he didn't come from a
I don't
family.
like him like, I mean, he's okay looking, but I think I liked his personality. I mean,
I
us
don't
women,
trust them either. I
we
don't
can look
trust them.
past
I don't trust
we can
nobody.
look past things. We just look at like personality sometimes, and that's, he seems like he will well, we have 3 and 4,
I
okay?
don't know, but no, but that's how they introduced him, was
Like,
through
remember, there's 3 and
that.
4.
They introduced him through that and everything. And the whole time I was just like, okay, there's no eye candy for me to watch. Or like, why am I
I don't think
looking?
anybody's really that
Is it
nice
because they're
looking.
all dirty looking? I don't know.
I think this is before plastic
That
surgery, and makeup, like a lot of makeup and plastic
no, but at least for
surgery.
Games of Thrones, you had some eye candy.
I think they're trying to make it look as, they're the first men, right? That's what the people are. The first of the man, right?
Whatever. I don't know, but
Mankind. So maybe we're still working out the kinks
we're
and
working
that.
up, working up there.
Yeah. And then once, they say when two not that pretty people have kids, they are beautiful. So maybe that's what's happening. Let it be,
What,
Monique.
whatever.
You're
So
making
they're there,
yourself
and
money.
during during this time, this is when the king leaves because the queen is in labor.
And I think it's because of the issue with her labor. I don't think
Yeah,
it.
it was almost like the whole thing with the bloodbath and everything that was happening with the tournament was mimicking what she was going through or experiencing during this time of childbirth. And it's very sad. I kind of, because it's like throughout the whole thing you see the love that he has for his wife, although they were arranged marriage, because the thing about it, they were cousins. So he ended up marrying his cousin. She's, his cousin or whatever. But even though it was arranged marriage, he did fall in love with
He
her.
loved
He
her.
really loved her. It wasn't like, oh, well, she's here because it's arranged or whatever and I have to deal with her. He actually loved, you could see the love that he had for her.
He said that she made him a better man. I think he said that during one of
Yes,
the
yeah.
something like that. And I mean, maybe that's also what made him sensitive. Maybe that's what has him. I'm pretty
That's
sure
because
this
he has
man
that
would have
heart.
preferred taking his family and not have to rule.
I think he
I'm
would have done better with that because he does
if
seem
he
like
could,
a family man. Okay, so during this time, she's going through labor. She's having a hard time because the baby's breached. Now, my friend and I, we're not OBGYNs or labor and delivery nurses, but we're watching like, but there's positions that they could turn her in that way, could kind of help the baby turn and everything. But I kept on having to remind her
this
also
is
like
olden
this is
days.
this is old before where none of this thing
They
has
didn't know you could do this and shift a baby
they
inside the
didn't know
bed.
all of that. So it was weird, and this is where I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what decision I would have made, but it was like it's either regardless, he's like, if we do nothing, both of them are going to die, both the mother and the baby is going to die. If we do something, there's a high percentage or a high chance that the mother will not survive, but the baby will survive. What would you have done?
I already had the discussion, because I had two
She
babies.
popped out a whole human the other day.
Yeah, twice. But one at this time. And I would at least wanted some more milk of the poppy.
No, no, they said that they gave her as much as they could give her without
Or they couldn't,
harming the baby.
if they gave somebody tea for certain things, then they could have made me something to make at least the area numb or
No, but
something,
remember, they don't have this technology back then.
anything. But I don't know if I would probably prefer to have known
No, I
than
would
just
not
have.
want to know because it would have been scary. But you could tell on her face that she saw that something wasn't right, but he was trying to assure her. So it was like where she was trying to decide, should I believe him? But I know something is not right, but he's trying to tell me everything is going to be okay.
He was saying, we're gonna get the baby now. We're gonna get the baby now. We're gonna get the baby now. And I get it. You would save your baby. I think most
I don't know.
moms or most people
I'll be like, we both
rather
died.
had died there.
We both
Both.
died. A big that's just I don't know, I'm very selfish. We both are gonna die.
Well,
Because
that's
as soon
why I
as
said
I guess because I was just thinking about it, like say the fact that she had all that blood coming out of her and gushing out of her. And it was in the time of the era that it was, and maybe this is just me with future knowledge, but it was like from when the baby came out, I was like, that baby's dead because yes, the baby came out and everything, and then you heard the baby gas. I was like, no, that baby's choking on whatever fluids or whatever that was coming out, and they didn't have the knowledge to quickly act to try to get whatever was in the
even
baby
patting the
out
baby
or
on the back,
whatever. So from
shaking
when
the baby.
they were like, and I saw all that blood coming out of her, I was like, no, that baby is dead. But just to let you all know, it was a boy. It ended up being a boy child.
Spoiler! Like, it was a boy. It was a boy. It was upsetting to me only because I felt like he was lying to her. I think I would have preferred.
I don't think I would want to know, to be honest, because I think
I
that
would have
that would
want.
make me even more fearful.
I think just being held down and not being able to move and not being able to say my last words to somebody, like I love you, tell my daughter that I love her, um or anything like that. And if it is a boy, tell him that I love him to death or something. I think not having that opportunity, I would have haunted your ass. I would have came back and just haunted all you guys and then
But do you
killed
think
all the
that
dragons.
she knew, because when she said this is my, I know she was saying it like, oh, this is my last, I am not going through this torture anymore, because I think this one, she said, I've grieved enough babies that I don't want to go through this again. I kind of felt like she knew that, whether she knew or intuition, like this was going to be her last.
I don't know if she knew she was going to die or whatever. I just think that she was heartbroken. For me, like looking at it, I was like, she's heartbroken. Like for him, it's just, I'm getting a son. Oh, we didn't get one. Like, I don't know if I don't know if it I'm not saying it doesn't affect men as much as women, and that's another thing, I think. I don't think I think when a woman loses a child because it's inside of them and it's been there and they can feel it, it's a totally different experience than when you tell your partner, "Hey, I lost the baby," or we don't have the baby. You don't have to go through the emotional and physical process of losing a child.
No, it's
He
different. Yeah.
It's different. So I don't think he understands that. I think
But
with
not
her
only that, but
saying
he didn't just lose a child, he lost the love of his life.
he eventually, and then I think he understood what it feels like to lose somebody like that, that is attached to you and your soul.
Do you think, because we're 21, do you
Ooh,
think that the reason why he named his daughter now the heir, because of that guilt that he felt for taking her mother away?
I think so, because was it worth it? You have a practically good daughter who probably could be a really good ruler. If you spend time of teaching her how to be one and everything else, then you wouldn't have had to lose your wife. You would have just had, my daughter's the heir.
But I kind of understand why in that day they did not want a woman to be the heir, because a woman could easily be lost during childbirth. And in order to continue your legacy, you have to bear children. So I can understand why they did, other than them being machismo, whatever, machismo, whatever you want to call it. I could understand that logically. Like, say, if the queen goes into labor and she dies, now we're left without any heir. But
Of
this
course.
is but this is when the father tells her about the prophecy of fire and ice and fire, the ice and fire prophecy that we later see in Games of Thrones come to reality, where they said that all the kingdoms needed to unite together to fight this unknown thing that was going to happen. Now, through that, the father losing the mother and everything, now this is where I would kill somebody. The right hand man or whatever sends his daughter to comfort him.
He knew exactly what he was
No,
doing,
he
and
know
that's
it, but you know what?
disgusting.
The
It's disgusting.
manipulation of it
And
all,
we're something of your mother's.
mothers. But the manipulation of it all, it wasn't like he was forcing her. It was where he was coercing her into it, right? And this is where I felt like the friend knew what her father was doing. Yes, I understand that, what, your parents have a hold on you that sometimes you cannot break. And she just seems like a person that wants to be a good person, and follow orders and of what's happening and what her role or station is. But she knew what was happening, because by coming or entering into someone that's grieving, if they see you as the only relief, who are they going to turn to?
Yeah, he's not going to his daughter. His daughter's dealing with her own stuff, and she's grieving her mother as well. And now she doesn't have a female to show her how to be. I'm not saying that another female needs to be able to show another female how to be a woman or grow up or whatever, but she doesn't have that anymore. She doesn't have her mom there. He's not reaching out to his daughter. They're not talking to each other. And here comes
No, they're
this young, pretty,
completely.
soft spoken, interested in everything that he's doing, in
But she made it
history.
like she was like,
His
"Oh, I
father,
know you love history, so I came with the history book for us to review the history." She knew what she was doing, because
but
they
at the
were.
same
I don't
At
know.
the same
They weren't looking at it like, say, like with the princess, she was the one that had to tell the dragon to burn her mother, because that's where I felt like her uncle was very kind to her, where he was the one standing by her trying to calm her down and everything. He was the one that pushed her forward, because they know your father can't do it. You're gonna have to do it. You can do it. It is okay. You can do this. And for
let
her
her go.
to burn her mother and everything, and he was there, still holding, where, like you said, at this time you could see the father and daughter were separating instead of coming together with their grief. To me, this is where the friend should have been, although she was kind of hinting to where they should be talking to one another, trying to go through this grieving process together, because she seems very intelligent.
I don't think the friend is that bad, but I have a lot of spoilers, so I'm just trying to.
No, no,
I don't think
not too much yet, because yeah, go.
I'm not. I don't think she was that bad. I think the thing is that she loves her father, so she was doing what her father said.
Tell her to
But at
do.
the same time, she is very kind-hearted, and she was trying to. Eventually, she was really just trying to be there for him because remember, she lost her mother too, so she understands what it feels like. So when she went there, I think it was because her father did send her, so she was trying to do what her father said. But eventually, I think that manipulation part where went away, and her herself as a person stood up. I think she does care about her friend at the same time, but because it's too many
Yeah,
spoilers,
yeah. So
so I'm
so
not gonna say
so
anything.
because say here now, during this time, like whenever someone is giving birth within the Targaryen family, they all get an egg. Now the uncle, to kind of, because it is that the uncle was just acting like he's a teenager, in a sense of, you hurt me, so I'm gonna play games with you, where he ended up stealing the egg that belonged to her, now the princess's now dead brother. Once he stole the egg and everything, the king sends the men or whatever to go and get it. And then this is where I loved it, because I'm like, number one, y'all couldn't do anything. This man has a whole dragon. Y'all thought you were just gonna go up there and tell him, oh, give us the egg, when he has a whole dragon. And this is where the princess showed her power, in the sense of, she went and retrieved, because I think she knew the love that she
She's
knows
a
the
dragon
love.
rider too.
Yeah,
Because
and I
I
know
don't think her
she knows
father
the love.
rides dragons, right? I
No,
don't
he
think her
does.
father.
They all do. They all do. But the thing about it is that she knew the love that the uncle has for her, that she knew that he was not going to harm her, he was not going to hurt her or anything. So I think she went there. Like, I love the authority when the men were trying to hold her back. She's like, well, my dragon is very protected of me, so unless y'all want to get burnt, y'all better step back away from me. And then how he just nonchalantly handed her, I think
He
it was
threw
almost
her the
no,
like
he was like, oh, it's almost like he was saying, a game well played. I don't know. That's what, like, I kind of got from it. Like, when he just threw her the egg, like he smiled at her and just threw her the egg. It was like, in my head, I thought he probably would have been like, you played a good game. Very
because
good.
she knows that her uncle does care about her, and I think at the same time he loves his brother just as much. Like they are a very loving family, but in the most weirdest of ways. Like they all love each other, but for some reason don't know how to show each other
The love.
actual
But I mean, but
love.
that's most families, right? Like, most families don't really know how to show that
Yeah,
love
but
for one
they
another.
do it to the extent of my dragon's going to kill you. Like that's a little too much.
You don't know, if you had a dragon, you wouldn't set it on.
I would kill everybody. I'd be like, "Oh, I didn't get my sweet and sour sauce. Bye, McDonald's."
And then with the egg and everything, so during this whole time within episode 1 and 2, there is a enemy that's lurking in the back. I think they call him like the Crab King or something like that,
Yeah.
where they have people that they captured, they have them set at low tide, and crabs eating. I didn't realize that crabs were carnivores, but
Oh yeah.
they were eating these people that were alive and stuff like that. And at this time, it's like they were telling the king that he needs to go and settle this. Like that said, he's not good at making decisions that he has to make. And one of the people on his council I'm sorry, people, be very racist. The black man, his name was
Well, we're black. That's always
Cole, I think Colis Velgaron or whatever. But he's like their family is actually older than the Targaryens, but it's like almost like they come from the same line, but they
they're
split
married to each
somewhere.
other. The
But they split
Target
because they could also ride dragons or whatever, but they split. They split somewhere, and now he's married to
Crosley.
yeah,
Was
yeah,
the cousin.
yeah, Crosley. He's married to the queen that who never was. Now,
Yes, which is the
um,
cousin, I think, right?
yeah, they're all related in
Viserys's
some type of
cousin.
way. So his fleet of boats, because he's the master of boats or whatever, um, gets taken or whatever, and he's asked the king go in there, save this or whatever, and the king just refuses to help him because his people are being captured and stuff like that. So because now Damien and his brother, who's a king, are and out, they team up to take on the crab man.
Ah, people.
And this is where it and then they kind of, once they team up, it kind of goes back to the council where the father, which I thought like people have to be aware, because from once is like, remember, the princess, she's always there serving them drinks and everything, and now her friend has entered the room and she didn't think of it
Yeah, I
as
was like, that was
weird.
weird. I was like, that's weird. What is
I'll be
she
like,
doing?
because I'll be like,
Oh,
Uni, if you in the room, I'm gonna be
Lord
like, Uni, what are
Jesus.
you doing here? What's going on? You know what I
Well,
mean?
we missed the whole thing
Oh,
because
what?
before that, remember Crosley was telling the king, everybody wants you to get married. Everybody wants you to get married because now
Oh yeah. Oh, that was nasty.
you don't have
Yes.
any heirs. You have a daughter and everybody's going to be fighting her because that's why,
Because they don't want to
they
unify
don't
her.
want
And then
her.
he was going
And
to send his little
do we
9-year-old.
want a brother? Yeah, do we want your brother to do it? Because we don't like your brother either. Because look at him. He's rebellious. He's sleeping
Oh,
around with
everyone.
people. He has a queen, but he doesn't care about, well, his wife. He has his wife. He doesn't care about her. So you know what? Why don't you marry our
Mother.
little tiny
Nine-year
daughter?
old. I don't know if she was 9-year-old, but I'm gonna call her 9-year-old
She
daughter.
was young, and but they were the Valerian and Targaryens.
Valerian. They're all
They they are the old people, the first people. So the whole thing is if they connect, then the kingdom is saved basically because they have a really
more
strong
power.
force
More
and
power.
more power. And so here's this guy and he goes on this chaperone date with this 9-year-old and she's telling him all these things that she's going to do for him. Nothing sexual. It
No,
was
that's like
gross.
this is what I will bring to the table. And he looks at it like, did your mother tell you to say that? Or your father told you to say that? And she was like, yes. And he said, and what did they tell you? Oh, I don't have to sleep with you until I'm 14 or until I get my period or what. She didn't say period, but something like that. And I was like, the whole thing is nasty because number one, she's 9.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to.
Number
No.
two, even like, so everyone's trying to push their people on him. And number two, like even that she's 9, if he wants, he's an old man. If he wants an ear, it has to be someone that he could start working on getting pregnant. So she's no, that's nasty. Number two, for her, the right hand man, the king's hand, Otto, to send his daughter now into the web, that's still nasty because your daughter is not even of age yet. And that's just all
She's just a couple
nasty.
of years older or a year older than your own daughter, and this is the one you
Nasty.
sent. It's gross.
Nasty.
But I think it's because she almost has the same qualities as the mother. She's kind, she's sweet, she's gentle, and she listens, and she's able to come to a sound decisions too. And that's what I do like. I do like her. I don't think she's evil. It's her
No,
father that's
we could
evil.
talk more
Her
about her for 3 and
father's evil. I'm
4.
sorry, we're gonna keep
Yeah,
going
no,
on
no, no,
about
no,
this.
no,
But
no, but
Otto
no,
is disgusting.
but what I was saying is that I would have, if I saw you, Uni, in a room that you never really are in, I'm gonna be looking at you like, girl, what are you doing here? What's
Be
going
like,
on?
"Oh, I came here for your father."
Stab, stab, stab. But I don't know. Like I felt like I found it odd that she didn't find it weird that this girl was there. And I was like, no, they're gonna tell you something that you're not gonna like. And then that's where they announce and they close it off with the announcement that she's going to be marrying the father. Yeah. All right. So we're going to end it here for episode 1 and 2. Please make sure you join us for episodes 3 and 4, where we're going to kind of get more into what's happening. Hopefully, you enjoy our little ranting and bantering. But we'll see
Yeah.
you for the next one. All right. Bye, everyone.